How's it going, guys? It's the Pixelated Pumpkin. Welcome back to another Versus video. Today we're going to be comparing Spirit Halloween 2013 Convulsing Nurse and Spirit Halloween 2020 Miss Mercy. As always, we compare three things: animation, audio/dialogue, and overall look. So without further ado, let's get right into it with Miss Mercy's animation. Miss Mercy's animation is where her head twists around and she has a side-to-side motion that is not constant, but it goes every time she makes a full rotation with her head, I'm pretty sure, and while she's twisting her head. And overall, I gotta say, this animation is super unique. I definitely like it a lot. The twisting head is obviously the main thing about it, which is so good, and it fits his prop perfectly, I think, and it makes it look super, super creepy. I think the twisting head animation is pretty awesome, but I think how she doesn't move to side constantly adds a whole new level of uniqueness, since pretty much every single side-to-side prop has them moving constantly from side to side. So I'm really happy to see one where it's only on occasion she moves side to side. So even though it's not the main part of her animation, it's still really nice to see, and it's nice to have it unique like that. But overall, her animation is great. The twisting head is awesome. I don't really think it needed anything else, maybe mouth animation, but I don't really think that's very necessary for her. So overall, really, really amazing animation. So now, let's take a look at Convulsing Nurse's animation. Now, Convulsing Nurse's animation is, she convulses, but it's back, she basically just rocks back and forth pretty slowly, and overall, I like it a lot, so let's get right into it. So, as you can see, she rocks her whole torso back and forth. Her head rocks a little bit more since I think it's attached to a spring. It looks pretty good in my opinion. It definitely could have been more frantic, and I think it would have looked better that way if it was more frantic. But overall, I do think it is decent animation for this. As I said before, all it really needed was to be a lot more frantic, and I would have liked it a lot better, the animation. But overall, I think it's alright for the prop. So, anyways, there's really not much else to talk about for her animation. So, I'm going to have to say, I will have to give the point for animation to Miss Mercy, because there's a lot more going on with her animation. The head turning and the moving from side to side is a lot better than Convulsing Nurse's animation. I don't think the convulsing is frantic enough, and if it was just a little bit more frantic and she shaked around a little bit more, I think I would have had to give the point to her. But Miss Mercy's animation is just overall more unique and better in my opinion. So, anyways, without further ado, let's get on into overall look, starting us off with Convulsing Nurse. Now, Convulsing Nurse's overall look. Her overall look is creepy and unique all at the same time, and I just think it looks pretty awesome. So let's jump into the detail. So starting off with her face, it's very strange looking, not like a human being, but more of like a mannequin or like something that got stitched together, and it's very ominous and very creepy looking, and I just think her face works really well on her, because this is a very, very strange prop in my opinion. I'm not sure what they're really going for with the face, but I think it looks so creepy and very uncanny and very unsettling in my opinion. There's just something about this prop that whenever I see it, I always get unsettled by it. So I think her face, the way it looks, is extremely effective at being creepy. Her hat is just a normal nurse's hat. Nothing special there. Same with Miss Mercy, which we'll get into in a little bit. There's a good amount of blood on her. I think it looks realistic and very good. Her gown and her shirt, or skirt, I mean, looks pretty good. I think it looks fine. It really didn't need anything else. I think it looks great for what it is. Now for the hooks on her arms, attached to her little arm nubs, I guess. That's what they call it, right? Anyways, it's very strange, because I'm not sure what really they were going for here, but it seems like she's, like, attached to the wall with the chains, like you mount those onto a wall, which I don't understand why, but it just adds to the creepiness of this prop a lot more. I have no clue what Techie Toys was thinking when making this, but somehow this thing turned out awesome, even though it is so strange and just so weird in my opinion, but still, it turned out great. Anyways, the hooks on the arms look pretty good. The chain, I still don't understand, as I've been saying, but it looks cool, and that's a very unique touch. And overall, I just think her overall look is super unsettling, super creepy, and definitely nails the uncanny factor right on the spot. So now let's take a look at Miss Mercy's overall look. So now for Miss Mercy's overall look. I think she looks super creepy as well. A lot going on here, so let's get straight into how her head and her face looks. So obviously she's based off like an old woman, an old nurse, and I think the gray hair looks super realistic, super cool. Her face is definitely very, very creepy as well. I like how you could put the bandage over her eyes, like her eyes were like cut out, and I think it looks super creepy. The hat, pretty basic, but I think it looks pretty good on her and definitely needed for this prop. Again, the bandage is probably the most unique part because you could just have it on or off, and either way looks great in my opinion. I just wish there were a lot more blood actually where her eyes were on the bandage. I think that would have looked a lot better. And I think this prop definitely needed blood on it, on the gown and stuff, and her skirt or whatever. But overall, other than that, the design is pretty basic. I think it looks super creepy again, super like unsettling looking, especially with her animation combined. It blends together perfectly, makes for a super creepy prop. But I think it could have used a lot more detail in terms of blood and stuff. That would have been really nice to see, a lot more blood. But I feel like in these modern years of Spirit, they're definitely dialed down the blood a lot this year, especially. I don't know why. I think everything looks better, but I don't know if they're trying to make it more kid-oriented, but I don't know. I would have preferred to see a lot more blood on this prop, but overall, I think it is pretty cool, and I really like the overall look on her. But I think I still have to definitely give the point for overall look to Convulsing Nurse. Without a doubt, her overall look is much better than Miss Mercy's, I have to say. It's kind of sad coming from Modern Spirit, but still, Convulsing Nurse is still has some of the weirdest and creepiest design and overall look we've probably ever taken a look at on the Versus videos, which is kind of funny, but still, she definitely deserves the point. So now everybody's tied up. Let's see who wins it in this final match when we compare their audio lines. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, if there's one thing Spirit hasn't toned down with this prop, it is definitely the audio. The audio on Miss Mercy is disgusting, it's creepy, and it's horrifying. So that's what you just listened to right there in her little sneak peek video. But definitely, it is disgusting to say the least. So let's get right into it. So obviously, as you could hear, since she's twisting her neck around, you hear all the neck cracking and like the just basically like the cracking and like the bending and snapping of her neck as she turns it around, like the breaking bones and stuff. And it just sounds super nasty, super unsettling, and I'm honestly surprised that Spirit Halloween would even pass this audio, but I'm so happy that they did because it sounds awesome, so creepy, and I just absolutely love the audio on this, on Miss Mercy. Definitely one of the best we've seen from recent years for props. Her laughing and grunting sounds add a lot to it, definitely, because she's like an old woman and her laughing is creepy, and it just overall does the effect so like gets what they're trying to achieve here with the audio so well, and it just blends perfectly with everything else going on with Miss Mercy. So I definitely have to say that overall it is so disgusting, the audio, and I think it's really good. So anyways, let's take a look at Convulsing Nurse's audio. As you just heard, that was Convulsing Nurse's audio, so let's talk about it. Now I think the screaming and the sighs and, like, groaning sounds and basically just the screams from her are a little bit unsettling. I think they're not that great, in my opinion. I mean, It's pretty good for the prop. Definitely reminds me of the era. A lot of the audio during that era was kind of similar to this. And overall, I think it's pretty good. It suits the prop well. But I just wish there was a lot more screaming. And I think the background sounds are pretty cool, too. I like the background sounds a lot. It definitely added a really nice touch to her audio. But still, it definitely could have used a lot louder screaming. And maybe actually some phrases for it, even though it's just like a convulsing, twitching prop. That's most likely going to be put on like constant motion, not like a talking prop. I still would have liked to see multiple phrases from it, like talking and stuff maybe. But I don't know. I think the audio for it works pretty well. I just wish they did a little bit more, maybe like louder screams and stuff, as I just mentioned. I really don't think it needs talking, but I think it would have been very unique and interesting for a prompt like this, but I definitely would prefer screaming over the talking. I don't even know why I brought up talking, but whatever. It definitely could use a little bit louder screams. So I'm definitely going to have to give the point for this to Miss Mercy. So let's see who wins. And the winner of this versus video matchup is Miss Mercy. That is right, guys. Remember, just my opinion, but I do think Miss Mercy definitely deserved to win this one. I love Convulsing Nurse. She is such a classic prop, and she was definitely amazing for her time. I still think she is amazing, but I think Miss Mercy basically takes Convulsing Nurse and just one-ups it and bringing it into a more modern era of Spirit, and I think it achieves that very well. Definitely one of the best props, not only for this year, but in recent years as well. I love Miss Mercy. Such a great prop and very disturbing for modern Spirit. So I think she definitely deserved to win. I don't think that one is better out of the two, but I just think Miss Mercy deserves to win this one. I think she is a little bit better. There's definitely some attributes about her that are more superior, like her animation and her audio. That's why she got the points for that. I just wish there was a lot more detail on her, like with blood and stuff, but still, Miss Mercy definitely deserves to win. So that's going to be it for this, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, again, just my opinion, and as always, this is the Pixelated Pumpkin, signing out.